Yes.
The senator from Arkansas.
I send a question to the desk for the President's counsel on behalf of myself and Senators Boozman, McSally, Blackburn, Kennedy, and Toomey.
The senators asked the President's counsel, did the House bother to seek testimony or litigate executive privilege issues during the month during which it held up the impeachment articles before sending them to the Senate?
Mr. Chief Justice, Senators, no, the House did not seek to litigate any of the privilege issues during that time. In fact, they filed no lawsuits arising from this impeachment inquiry to seek to contest the bases that the Trump administration gave for resisting the subpoenas, the basis for why those subpoenas were invalid. And when litigation was filed by one of the subpoena recipients, that was Dr. Charles Kupperman, the Deputy National Security Advisor, he went to the court and sought a declaratory judgment saying, President's told me I shouldn't go. I have a subpoena from the House saying I should go. Please, courts, tell me what are my obligations. And that was filed, I believe, around October 25th. It was towards the end of October. Very shortly, within a few days, the court had set an expedited briefing schedule and scheduled a hearing for December 10th that was supposed to hear both preliminary motions to dismiss, but also the merits issues. So they were going to get a decision after a hearing on December 10th that would go to the merits of the issue. The House managers withdrew the subpoena. The House of Representatives decided they wanted to moot out the case so they wouldn't get a decision. So no, the House has not pursued litigation to get any of these issues resolved. It's affirmatively avoided getting any litigation. And that seems to be, at least in part, based on, if you look at the House Judiciary Committee report, their assertion that under the sole power of impeachment assigned to the House believes that the Constitution assigns, I believe the exact words are, it gives the House the last word, something to that effect. And I mentioned this the other day. This is the new constitutional theory that because they have the sole power of impeachment, in their view, it's actually the paramount power of impeachment. And all other constitutionally based privileges or rights or immunities or roles even of the other branches, both the judiciary and the executive, fall away. And there is nothing that can stand in the way of the House's power of impeachment. If they issue a subpoena, the executive has to respond. And it can't raise any constitutionally based separation of powers concerns. If you do, that's obstruction. The courts have no role. The House has the sole power of impeachment. And that's a very dangerous construct for our Constitution. It suggests that once they flip the switch onto impeachment, there's no check on their power, on what they want to do. And that's not the way the Constitution is structured. The Constitution requires, when there are interbranch conflicts, that there be an accommodation process, that there be attempts to address the interests of both branches. And the House has taken the position, and in other litigation, the McGahn litigation, they're telling the courts are the only way to resolve these issues. And they brought that case in August. They already have a decision from the district court. They have an appeal in the D.C. Circuit. It was argued on January 3rd. A decision could come any day. That's pretty fast for litigation. But they've decided in this impeachment they don't want to do litigation. And again, it's because they had a timetable. One of the House managers admitted on this floor they had to get the president impeached before the election. They had no time for the courts, for anyone telling them what the rules were. And they had to get it done by Christmas, and that's what they did. And then they waited around for the month before bringing it here. And I think that shows you what's really behind the claims of, oh, it's urgent, then it's not urgent, It's urgent when it's our timetable to get done by Christmas. It's not so urgent when we can wait for a month because we want to tell the Senate how to run things. It's all a political charade. And that's part of the reason, a major reason, that the Senate should reject these articles of impeachment. Thank you.